Welcome to the second in our three-part video series of roll-up sides. The first video had some of the background and some of the choices that you have for the roll-up sides. In this particular video, we're going to now give you some pointers on the installation of the roll-up sides from the inside of the building, the stuff that you do first. The last one will be from the outside. So when you have the cover is always one piece from top to bottom, and you're going to have to install something at a certain point where the cover is attached permanently. Generally speaking, if you're in an extremely windy location, you would drop that down. If you're in a very sheltered location, you would go a little bit higher. 4 feet is average. So the first thing that you do is install all of the pipe straps onto the hoops at your chosen point. So these just, you bring a string line along, you put them in, and then you can put a screw in there to hold it. So you're going to do this for the full length, including the last one. Now, regardless of whether you have the 2x4 along the sides or you're going with the 1x2, the concept of how you put it together is exactly the same. Now, in this particular situation, we have the 2x4 going along the outside, which does create a little bit of a bump. One of the options that you can do is that you cut the chunks of wood and to fit in between. If you're going on the outside, which is the quickest and the simplest, one thing to keep in mind is that you do not want to have the bump that would result at the corner. So what you're doing is when you come at the building from the side, you tip it forward so that you're tucking it in behind this last tab, and then you just walk towards the building, and you can, it'll bend it, and it easy bends. So now you would drill it through from the inside and put the bolt in, and you just go and do that all the way along. Then you are going, if you have wood, you're going to take a 1x2 and nail it right flush to the top on the outside. If you have wire lock, you're going to screw it roughly the middle of the board. If you have the steel tubing, you're again roughly going to be fastening the wire lock channel to the center of the steel. So now, this is what you do before you're putting the cover on. All of this stuff has to be done before you're putting the cover on. The other thing that is generally done before you put the cover on is to put the eye bolts, like you're having a series of eye bolts, so that when the project is all finished, the very last thing you're going to do is put the rope in. But every second one, you're having the eye bolt down low. The first one is always on the top here on the outside, and we'll see that in the next video. But put the lower eye bolts in place. Once you are now putting the cover on, you're going to be covering it again from ground to ground. You center it, and then instead of fastening at the bottom, you're going to be fastening at the top. But again, as has been mentioned on the video for installing the cover, it is important to fasten it at both ends first before you start fastening along the roll-up side, but you're going to start at the middle. Thank you.